The guy upstairs is ending, like for realsies, on God 100. So I guess the question is, what happened? Okay, so there's something you should know about me, and that is that I love thriller, psychological horror, dark romance, mystery, crime, serial killer type stories. And The Guy Upstairs is no exception. Hansa, also known as Hansa Art, started with the My Deepest Secret comic on Webtoon that really took you on a ride and then some. I enjoyed her previous work, even with some of the hiccups in the story, and when I saw that she was coming up with The Guy Upstairs, baby girl, I was hooked. I remember driving with my family from Kentucky after visiting family 2 years ago and coming up with my own serial killer, stalked psychological thriller story named DANTE'S AMA, where a girl gets kidnapped by the wrong serial killer. Like, I was deep in those vibes after listening to Melanie Martinez's Tag You're It. Her controversies aside, her song really spoke to this specific genre of stories that has always kind of fascinated me. So as I created DANTE'S AMA and tried to seek other similar works that could help immerse me in the vibes long enough to finish my outline, in comes The Guy Upstairs, the perfect companion to keep me going. The Guy Upstairs is a webtoon about a girl who has a neighbor upstairs that is a serial killer. The main character, Rosie, knows this because when she went to investigate the noise, she saw this man, Adam, killing a woman no problem. She tries to hide and escape, and just when it looks like he's found her and is going to kill her, Rosie wakes up in the hospital because Adam took her there. Was she dreaming it all up, or was Adam actually, just a great gaslighter? Cue him trying to woo her friend, and then bam, you have The Guy Upstairs. At least for now. It's a promising series with everything that I love in a story. Serial killers, crime, mystery, stalkers, and what I thought was character chemistry between Rosie and Adam. Now, it doesn't have to be romance, but I wouldn't have minded if it was. That's just how I roll and how some fans like it as well. However, I do have to acknowledge that the author despises this ship. And to be honest, even though I follow Hansa on Twitter and Instagram, I don't normally check those socials regularly unless I'm updating my own profile or catching up with a few individuals. So when I signed in and saw this little number and kept reading, did I realize, oh shit, something happened. Apparently, Hansa has stated on numerous occasions that she does not like Rosie and Adam together. Cool, it's her story, she's the author, and that's that on that. It won't stop some people from shipping because shipping is universal, but it is important to acknowledge that that is the preference for Hansa and will ultimately affect the decision in the story. It is never okay for anyone to harass the author, artist, when it comes to decisions they have decided for their story. If anyone is really upset by it, then write fan fiction or draw fan art or make your own story with similar vibes. Use a creative outlet instead of constantly barraging and bothering the author for decisions they have clearly stated numerous times. Some fans, quote unquote, have even gone so far as to email Hansa. If there is one thing we should all be aware of when it comes to interacting with your fave creators, emailing them and begging them about how to conduct their story, especially ship-wise, when the story does not even focus on that, is a huge no-no. Like, no, baby girl, don't do it. It's just the respectful thing to do, and we definitely want the creators of our favorite comics and shows to finish the story that hooked us in. Even if you disagree, there's levels of etiquette that should be followed so the spaces we enjoy remain healthy for everyone. It is unfortunate that Hansa has to go so far as to cancel her series that even has a contract with Webtoon because she can no longer enjoy creating her series. Like, can you imagine just how insane that action has to be for someone to take, especially when it's brought them some measure of like financial stability? Like, that's, oh my God, that must have been really causing her some misery. And I get being a fan and wanting certain characters from a show to end up together because of whatever reason. Like, I've been and still am there. Like, do y'all remember Avatar The Last Airbender? I know some of y'all remember Avatar The Last Airbender. I was always a Zutara shipper. Yes, I said it. I'm always, still am to this day, a Zutara shipper. I knew Aang and Katara were endgame since like the first episode when this show came out. And that was just how it was, because that's what the creators and show writers were setting up. And even though it wasn't to my taste personally, it is what it is. And don't get me started on a certain creator of Avatar bashing the ever-living shit out of Zutara and being so spiteful to those that just like the ship. Was it our fault half the writers in the showroom were leaning that way? No. And yet, despite the mean-spirited scorn this man has had towards Zutara shippers at the time, I did not bother or harass him for his creative decision at the time. People still ship Zutara, or Zuka, or Toph and Aang, or Azula and Sokka. And you know what? That's okay. You can ship what you like and express those feelings as fan art, fan fiction, posts on Tumblr, but never do you submit it to the creator. That's like 1-star reviewing a book an author wrote and tagging them on it. Like, no, don't do it. Of course, years later, after the dust has been settled on the ending of Avatar and then some, I am completely about to drop a video about my opinion on the matter and call him out on his inappropriate behavior that was unwarranted. Now, some might say that the bright comparison is not the same as Hansa because webcomics is a small space and creators have to be out marketing themselves in order to get views on their comics and thus have to be constantly exposed, thus being forced to come across these comments/opinions. And I say to that, okay, that's fair. To express something between these two creators is not the same because of how small the community and space is for each one. Bright can hide. Hansa cannot, which is even more of a reason to not get a creator's attention and try to convince them to do something they clearly express they do not want to do or makes them uncomfortable. It's the boundaries that we really have to respect. Here's another example. My girlie, Morishita, creator of this beautiful number, made a new manga recently titled Whispers of Cinnamon. I am a huge fan of her because of her beautiful, pretty art, her stories, her vibes, and also because she has female women of color as her protagonists. In this story, she has posted concept art and development posts about a girl streamer who has a voice that this guy loves. Now, as she posted these snippets of her future story, I was obsessed between these two characters because of the character chemistry I could feel between them, even as still pictures. Like, I was hooked. So naturally, I shipped them because how could I not? Now, Morishita did mention that she wanted this story to focus on friendship, and that's totally cool. Love it. Always believed it was important to have friendship between characters, even if they're going to be a couple. Then my homegirl dropped the bomb that the characters were to be platonic friends only. Y'all, I was gutted. Like, my beautiful ship crashed against the iceberg before it could even be announced as an official thing. And Morishita was very clear and repeated the sentiment in the comments. So even though it hurts me to this day, I respect that. It's her story, her characters, and honestly, I can live with a platonic relationship between these superstars because I just love their character chemistry so much. Also, his design is so delicious, nutritious. But anyways, moral of the story, respect the writers and artists of your favorite stories and do not send them anything unless they have said otherwise. That's it. I am sad to see the guy upstairs go. Hansa has said she will post the spoilers of what happens to the rest of the story after the season wrap up in Webtoon. So I'm glad I will be getting some closure to the story because the amount of Fast Pass coins I have spent, like, I am not kidding. I only ever bought the Fast Pass coins on Webtoon for the guy upstairs. And now it's leaving. Like, what do I do? I still have a bunch of those coins remaining, so I guess I'll just drop them somewhere. Regardless, whatever the outcome, I do wish the best for Hansa and whatever creative project she has after the guy upstairs, if it does officially get canceled. And that's pretty much all for today's video. My art will be posted on my website, daydoes.com, as well as my DeviantArt and Instagram. Thanks for sticking around this video. Everything literally happened the morning of April 10th, and it shocked me so bad. I just had to type this script really quick. Let me know what you sparkly individuals think. Have you seen something like this happen to anybody else? I know there's a lot of drama going on in the Webtoon community for both the original creators as well as some Canvas creators. So if you guys know anything, please let me know because I love me a nice little hot gossip dish. Until next time, cheers.